call this dark mass, this energetic thing, an energy leech. And let us say that they attach or touch in a way in which they can energetically latch onto and remove an energy that you may hold or that you energetically align with and to, and they also align with and to, but cannot access as you do. And so this day, know that when you sit in meditation or contemplation, you might focus upon this and reflect as to whether or not this is the occurrence that you have experienced. And you will want to make this pronouncement, you will want to take this step so that you know that this is the measure that you might enact in order to break the cycle, break the occurrence, stop the occurrence from happening in your future. And so do take the time to confirm, to verify that you are in the situation in which you believe you might now exist. And in order to break the occurrence, you have already done the first step. And the first step is the realization that you are connected in some form or fashion because of the energy draw, which we will refer to as the law of attraction, has drawn to you and you to it. And it is in the realization that that exists. Well, that is the first step, do you see? That is the first step to acknowledge and to know that there is something that this thing seeks to latch onto. And we will say that there are other ways in which this occurs, but we do not need to go into that now, for there is not that questioning. But that there is this occurrence now that you are aware of, and almost the paralysis that exists within the dreamlike state is a secondary confirmation that you have experienced something that is unpreferred, not wanted, and needs to exit from your life with the realization that this does occur and it is no longer a preference. And you say, well, it was never a preference. It was never something that I wanted. And we would respond that now that you are aware of this situation occurring within your life and occurring in this way and occurring at this time, and if you have shuffled on with life, if you have continued on your way without doing anything about it, then let us say that there is an understanding from universe, that there is a complacency, that there is an acknowledging, that there is an allowing for this thing to continue on, for surely you would do more to stop such an occurrence if it were not preferred. And so you have reached out, you have asked and are searching for an answer. And so this is the answer that we provide, and it is simply this: recognition, not wanting, making the request and the intention that it no longer exists within your life in a definitive sort of way, and then sitting again in meditation, in contemplation, recognizing that these things are not preferred, not wanted, not to be allowed, and are to cease and desist immediately. We will add here that there may be an occurrence in which you engage that might draw these things into you, that they do then leech and latch on to be a recipient of the energy that you hold. And might we say that sometimes the thing in which you do is a thing in which you do not share to others that you do. And so you might also sit with this and sit with the knowledge of what it is that you might be engaged with and to that is not preferred, that is less than, and it is something that you immediately do not confess to do or recognize to another that you have engaged herein. And there is nothing wrong with doing something that is less than, when there is the recognition that there is a better way, a better path, a more preferred option in which to engage. And so we say simply, to no longer engage in something that you can identify is not of the highest standing, is not in the best way, is not as you might prefer to exist in a 24/7 type of way. And when you look upon anything in a 24/7 type of way and you recognize that this thing is not as it needs to be and is not something that you would engage in a nonstop sort of way, simply recognize this and choose another way in which to be. Do you see? And now, if you believe in guardian angels, if you believe in those higher beings that surround you, call them in. Call them in and anchor them to you and ask for a reinforcement of your energy field to be secure, to be that which will be impenetrable by something that is less than the light in which you now hold, that will be unable to access or permeate or penetrate or perpetrate anything further upon you. Can you do this? Can you take accountability for something that may have existed once, but perhaps no longer? Can you take accountability? Can you take and assume responsibility for something that has existed in your past, but need not exist any longer in your future? Can you take that step? Can you take the acknowledgement that there need not be this thing within your life, and that you can move beyond anything when there is the recognition that there is a better way? And so we do say this day to take that step. We do say to take that step and to be that one that does move beyond what was, to make the is of tomorrow, the now, the present, that present moment awareness, that which is impermeable and inaccessible to these leeches of light, and call for protection. Call for that which is accessible, for merely by asking, you have been given the answer that you seek. And so now go within and find and access that which you know to be true, that which you know to be so, that which you know to be your God-given right to access and change.